Hello, welcome back to this clown's garage. In this video I have a Mazda 2009 Mazda 6 and we're doing the front brakes and rotors on this car. Check out my channel for a bunch of car brake videos and subscribe. So let's begin. The wheel, take it to the side. Now first thing I would do is turn the steering wheel all the way to the right so you have room to work with the caliper. So we can do that now. Okay, I put the pry bar right where the brake pad is. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move the piston just a little bit. So now it's easy to take the caliper off. Next step here is you take the bleeder screw cap off. Just pull it right off. Put a little bit of butter sauce or penetrating lube right on it. Okay, so let me crack this loose. Okay, so that's good. I just want it loose so later on when I push the piston in, I'm gonna bleed it at the same time. Alright, now take the caliper bolts off. You just put an open end over here. And this is a 14 millimeter. There's one on top and one on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and crack that loose. Alright, leave this one semi-threaded in so you get some leverage down here to crack the bottom one loose. So I'm going to go ahead and crack the bottom one. Sometimes you don't need this, but I put it there just in case. That's the bottom bolt. The top one off all the way. Now you can take the caliper right off, just like that. Now hang the caliper with a bungee on top over here. Take a little bungee. Put it right through the hole, just like that. Grab it from here. And now you can do the same thing on the spring up here. And we'll get to this later. Right up there. Just let it hang. Don't let it hang from the brake hose. So over here it's a 17 millimeter that holds the caliper bracket in place. So I'm going to take this, the top one off and the bottom one off. That's the top bolt. Now the bottom one. That's the bottom. And now this comes off in one shot. Now as you can see here, this clip is bent a little bit, so I just make it look like that. I'm just going to rebend it. Alright, now to take these off, there's one here screw and there's another screw here. This already took off. You can spray some butter sauce in here, and you can also use an impact driver, which is one of these. You hit it with a hammer at the end, it'll knock it loose. You can also do this with somebody pressing the brake inside, but since we got the rotor off, we're putting a pry bar here to hold this from spinning. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this screw out. So now take the rotor off. Alright, now we're going to bang it from the back with a hammer. Bang it, baby. Pop this rotor out. It's pretty much out. And there goes the old rotor. Now I'm just going to use some brake cleaner and spray the rotor on both sides and clean it up. Alright, now you see these two holes? That's where the screws go. So over here you got two threaded holes in here. So you have to line those up when you put the new rotor in. Just like that. Now you can put the screws in. Fit the screws in. Alright, I'm just gonna bend this back to make it look like that. Alright, so I just straightened it out. It's as good as it's gonna get. So now, take these clips off. Pop these pads right off. And now over here, I'm gonna clean these up over here, these metal brackets with sandpaper, and put some lube on it. Alright, now these are the clips, the brackets. I'm gonna sandpaper, finally sand them down. You see the shiny part? Now this thing is coming off, so I'm just gonna bend these clips a little more in, bend these in a little bit. And I'm gonna pop this back in. So that's not going anywhere now. Now I'm gonna clean the other three, I mean. Now the brakes come with a little butter sauce or grease. So you put it right on the brackets. You put it on the top and the bottom, all throughout the whole bracket face. And so I'm gonna go ahead and do this on all four sides. Now you hold the the boot over here, and you pop these sliders right out. There's two of them, one on the bottom, one on top. Now what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna clean this up with brake cleaner. And put some grease on it. If your kit doesn't come with grease, go to Parts Store, get brake and caliper grease. So you lather that puppy up before you insert it in the hole, and you just pop it back in. Make sure the boot goes over the bolt, and now you're good. Also make sure it moves in freely back and forth. Yeah baby, that's what you want. Now I'm gonna put the caliper bracket on the spindle. I'll put a little bit of blue thread locker on these bolts. Just a little bit. Don't have to go too crazy. And the bracket goes on the inside of the spindle, right there. So now catch the bolts in the back. Leave it loose so you catch the bottom now. Okay, that caught too, and now just tighten them down. Top. And you're good. Alright, now I'm gonna bleed the brake caliper, and this is what I'm using. You can buy this as a it's a brake bleeder kit. It comes with the angle boot here, and it gives you a hose. And I just put a vacuum hose here, a regular hose inside a water bottle, and I silicone the top here so it won't leak. So, like I said, that's an 8mm. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop the caliper down, and as I squeeze it in, I'm gonna bleed it. Alright, so use an old brake pad, put it onto the brake. Then this is a brake piston depressor. You can also use a pair of channel locks here and squeeze it down, but I have my nice tools, so I'd rather use these. So don't squeeze it down yet. Now you go to the bleeder, an 8mm. Remember, we cracked this loose in the beginning. You put the bleeder boot on it. You crack it loose. And as you're pushing this in, let's see if I can get a good angle for you guys. As you're pushing this in, you're going to see the brake fluid come out, just like that. Pistons going in, brake fluid's coming out. You can put a little pressure on the boot there so no air goes in. But you're going to bleed the brakes anyway after this. So now I can go ahead and tighten this down. It's tight. Take it. And now you can take this out. You can also put a little bit of grease over here on top and around these tabs on the new brakes. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Okay, now we're going to put the pads in. That's one side. Top is in, now just the bottom. Just like that. What you do is you gotta move these out a little bit, then you pop these in. Okay, now you put the clips in. And same thing on top. Now to put the caliper on. Now the caliper bolts, you can also put a tiny dab of blue Permatex Loctite. Again, you don't have to go too crazy with these. It's fine. And now you just thread this in. I'm just going to put these in finger tight for now, just to catch them. Now I'm going to tighten them down. Alright, so you put your adjustable wrench here to hold that from spinning. That's a 14mm bolt. You just tighten that down. That's good. Now do the bottom one. And you're good. Alright, now you're pretty much done. I'm gonna bleed the brakes now. It's a good idea whenever you change the pads and rotors to change the fluid too, to flush it out and put new brake fluid in. I have a video on how to do that, so check out my channel for that. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. You know you want to. Also like me, share me, do the hell you want to me down there. There's plenty of clown to go around. See ya.